Good. So now before we end the first session, Safo gave us some examples of the plants that add nitrogen to the soil, which basically we say that we call them leguminous crops, or they are legumes. Okay, so we give us a typical example of that. So now what we are going to do is that we are just going to look at differences between a tap-rooted plant and then that of what? Of the fibrous rooted plant. Yes. Remember that I gave you exercise on that. It looks like none of you did the right thing. I say in a tabular form means that in a table form, you should give differences between a taproot and a fibrous root. And you left the question unanswered for me to do it. And I was not happy at all, seeing that you guys nobody attended the question. So I marked you down. In fact, I was very much aware. I marked you down. So let's move on. Those of you having a speaker that is projecting, either you use an earpiece or because my ears cannot accommodate that noise. So we ended here. Now, you can see that okay, so you have your notes there.
So,
yeah, it's a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so when we ended, Safo gave us some examples of plants with fibrous root, which we say they are leguminous or they are legumes, which they intend to add nitrogen to the soil. So he gave us most of the cowpea, beans. So let's move on and look at differences between the one who is doing that on my screen should be careful. Otherwise, you go up very soon. Okay, so let's look at differences between, differences between, Serena, stop that thing you're doing on my screen. Differences between taproots and fibrous root plants. So Grace, help me by reading.
Differences between plants with tap roots and with fibrous roots.
Good.
Tap roots. Tap roots have one main big root with smaller roots growing from them. Fibrous roots do not have a main root. All the roots are small and similar in size.
Good.
Tap roots grow deep into the soil. Fibrous roots just go below the surface of the ground.
Okay, so Grace, pause there. You say that tap roots have one main big root. Okay, so when you pick carrot as a typical case study, we see that the carrot is a typical example of a tap root, which the root actually goes deep into the soil. And what it means is that it has other parallel roots, which are basically not in the same size of the main root. So basically the tap roots, they have other roots that are connected, okay? But this, what they do, they just give balance to. They just give support to the main root to stand, as compared to that of the fibrous root. The fibrous root don't have any of them going deep. The rest are all in their paravenation. So it means the rest are all moving in a paraway, and they tend to support, because they are branched, they tend to support the plant to stand. But when you have a stronger wind, most of the taproot can easily fall off, in the sense that they cannot be able to withstand that strong wind as compared to the taproot. Yes, the taproot. Good. Point 2, we said that taproot grows deep into the soil. So all taproots, they go deep into the soil. When you get to GHS, okay, we will learn something about crop rotational program. Okay. Most of this time we basically use The one making the noise should be careful. In this system of farming, what you do is that the plant that has the deep roots, like the tap roots, basically should follow by plant that has what? A tap root, meaning that the plants with the deep rooted will pick all the nutrients that goes into the soil. And then those one with the fibrous root will also equally pick those nutrients beneath the soil, which we call the tap, we call it topsoil. So the point 3, you're saying that plants with tap roots are difficult to uproot. Do you agree or disagree with me?
Yes.
Is it no? Which is which? You agree or disagree?
Agree.
Hey, tell the person singing should be careful. Oreku, stop singing.
I'm not singing.
So we are saying that, sorry for that, if you're another one, for giving me wrong. So plants with tap roots are difficult to uproot. I wanted to ask whether is it true or is false? Let me hear from you. Kekeli, Somoji, do you agree that plants with tap roots are difficult to uproot? If you say yes, explain. Somoji, Kekeli. I'm saying that when you don't answer questions, I don't know if we are right for exams, I'll deduct marks, so you don't get any marks. So don't think that you come and sit here and listen to me alone. Your participation will be so being your comfortable woman, you think that you will not talk. I don't know if you. Oh, Safu, please talk to me. I'm listening.
Yeah, please. Plants with tap roots are difficult to uproot.
What sense? Back your facts. I mean, give us a proper how do you call it? A proper argument to support that. Mauna, I'll call you.
Like a mango tree. So like a mango tree, it will be difficult to uproot it from the soil.
Okay, so let me, Mauna, come before I will explain.
Sir, please, they are difficult to uproot because they penetrate deep into the soil.
Exactly. So because they penetrate or move deep into the soil, they are very difficult to uproot as compared to the fibrous wood, which doesn't go deep into the soil. So almost it's just at the surface. Okay, so let's look at this. Before we look at the summary, let me ask you this question to all of you. So I'm going to call your name, then you tell me your answer. So I'm starting from Kati. Let me start from Daniel here. He wanted to eat, so let me ask him first. So Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Good. When you look at plants with tap roots, okay, what are some of the things that you can able to see about them? I'm talking about characteristics, physical things you can able to see about plants with tap roots.
That the taproot system is the type that grows vertically and has lateral roots.
Did you understand what the question I asked you?
Yeah.
What the question is seek to understand is about, we wanted to find physical things, okay? Physical things you see about plants with taproot system, okay? Physical things you see about plants with, because the video that I showed the other day, I showed you a plant with taproot with physical things that you can see about it. So I'm asking that, give me just one physical feature of a plant with a taproot system. The plant is not the root, it's the plant that has a taproot.
You can get it. To give you one plant with a taproot.
No, not to give you a plant with a taproot. You mentioned the physical features of a plant. You can mention the plant and tell me, because of this and that, that is why it has, I say it is a taprooted plant. I just want physical. Yes, Mauna, please hold on, I'll call you. I want Daniel to answer that question. Daniel, should I go back?
Roots help anchor the plant.
Okay, so Daniel, you put your answers together. Let me go back to Mauna. Mauna, please. Don't
you know something?
Yes, Mauna, talk to me.
Sir, please, some of the the physical features of the taproot is they have big broad leaves.
Good. They have big broad leaves, so they have broad leaves. Good. Well, who else will support the answer? Yes. Yes, Safo.
Please, they grow deep in the soil.
They go deep into the soil. Physical features, yes.
George,
Yes, dear.
please, I want to add something.
Please ask the question.
The taproot, normally when it grows deep into the soil, there are some tiny roots growing beside the taproots, but they don't normally show. Am I right?
Yes. Come again.
But
Nadia, please come again with the question.
the question is, the taproots, they normally grow deep into the soil and they have one big root
Yes.
growing down.
Yes. So it has
There are some roots growing beside it, right?
Yes. Yes. So what the taproot, what it means is that it has a very big root that goes deep into the soil. Okay, but it has you have other smaller roots that also, then I'll call you, let me answer. You have other smaller roots that also support it. But likewise, out of the fibrous root, it doesn't really have a big root, but all the roots are small.
Yes.
Yes, Daniel, now answer the question.
A taproot is straight and very
Yes, I'm listening, Daniel.
A taproot is a large central and dominant root, which is also straight and very thick.
Okay, so it's straight and very thick. Okay. Let me ask you this question to anybody want to answer. Can you be able to determine a plant by the size of the stem as taproot or fibrous root? Can you be able to determine the stem of a plant to say that because of this stem, I think it's a taproot or a fibrous rooted plant? Anybody want to pick that question? Yes, anybody? Yes. Is there anybody who want to answer? Yes. Daniel, yes. No, okay, let me. Daniel. Okay, Safo.
Please, the taproot, their stems are usually big.
The taproot, you're saying that their stems are usually big. Can you give a typical example of that so that to support your answer?
Mango.
Mango. So mango has a big stem, so it's a taproot. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Safo, is that what you're saying?
It also looks like the fibrous root, the stem is also big.
Good. So you can't actually use the stem. That's the argument I wanted to draw up with you. Because if you're saying that mango has a big stem, so it is a taproot, then what of coconut?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
No, their stems are also big.
Also big. Okay, it's also big. So you can't actually use the stem to say that because of the size of the stem, it is basically a taproot or fibrous root. So the stem cannot be used.
You can normally identify them by their leaves or
their roots. Good. So let's move on. Let's look at the summary of today's lesson. Don't worry. Who is yawning like that? Hey. So let's move on. Kathy, please read the summary of this lesson for me.
Summary of lesson. Plants with fibrous roots have many small or tiny roots without a main root.
Good. Please hold on. Okay. So let me ask the whole house. Please hold on. Are you saying that? So we are saying that at the end of this lesson, what we are taking home or we are putting in our mind is that plants with fibrous roots have many smaller and tiny roots without main root. True or false? It is true. It's true in the sense that the fibrous roots or plants with fibrous roots, okay, have smaller roots or tiny roots that are in a parallel venation, okay, from the main plant. Good. So keep it in your head.
George.
Yes, dear.
Sir, please, I still don't understand. I thought you said that they are normally in the same size and length.
Yes, they are same size and length. Yes.
So
does that one diffuse the? So let me go. But I said plants with fibrous roots have many small or tiny roots without the main root. The main root here is drawn attention to the taproot. Okay, so with fibrous roots, they don't actually have one main root, but all the roots are many, or we call them the cluster. Okay, which actually supports the plant to stand. Nadia, please, do you get it now? Good, good. Now let's get point 2. What's the name? Kekali Samoji, please read point 2 for me of our summary of the lesson. Read point 2 for me.
Fibrous roots branch off sideways through the soil.
Yes, so we are saying that fibrous roots branch off sideways through what? The soil. Okay, so most of the, or all the fibrous rooted plants, okay, the root don't go deep into the soil. They branch what? Sideways. So because of the sideway that they move, which is called the power way that they move, okay, that makes them not to go deep into the soil. And they are also smaller in size. So remember that any plant with that branch sideways and it's on it just at the second horizon of the soil are what? Taproots. Good. Any question to that, please?
No, please.
Okay, if there's no question, then let me call Oreku should read point 3 for me. Oreku, read for me. Point 3.
In a fibrous root system, the roots grow close to the surface of the ground. This allows plants with fibrous roots to absorb water and minerals over a large surface area.
Okay, good. Pause there. A minute, please. A minute. So what we just read is that it's in a fibrous root system, the root that grows closer to the surface of the ground, okay, allows plants without what? Roots to absorb water. Okay, so because it doesn't go deep, and as I said earlier in the earlier presentation I did was that most of the fibrous rooted plants, the plants with a nitrogen content, or that plants that fix nitrogen into the soil, the carpi and co. What it means is that they have what they call root nodules, okay, on them. These root nodules actually helps to fix nitrogen into the soil. And because they don't go deep, they diffuse the nutrients in the soil, okay, or the nutrients in them into the soil as they absorb them. So as they absorb the nutrients, they later what? Diffuse them back into the soil to be used in what? In that larger what? Surface area. Is a plant with fibrous roots.
Please, can I ask a question there?
Sorry?
Can I ask a question?
Please do, yeah.
What are root noodles?
The root nodules, I want a typical example. Have you seen a groundnut before?
Yes.
Yes. Have you seen maize before? Yes. When you pick maize, okay, or groundnuts, okay, you see on the root, you see some small spots on it. Okay. Those small spots, as you see, contains all the called the root nodules. These root nodules contains nitrogen in them. They contain what? Nitrogen in them. This nitrogen are being fixed or diffused back into the soil. That is why when you see any farmer that plants a cowpea or any of them, they don't follow up by what? By another cowpea. The sense is that, or the reason being that those plants actually add nitrogen. So we need to plant or cultivate a crop that will consume the nitrogen. So we rather have to plant a plant.
Please, your line is breaking.
My line is breaking. Sorry, I think it's a technical. Sorry, I think it's better now, right? Is it better now?
Yes.
Good, good.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that those root nodules simply means that they are small or tiny holes that are on the plants, most of the leguminous plants or crops, and then they tend to absorb or keep what? Nitrogen, then from the soil. And then when it's needed by the soil, they diffuse back into the soil to be used by what? By the plant itself again. So the root nodules that simply means they are holes or they are just patches on the roots that absorb nitrogen for the plant to be used. I think I've answered the question. Nadia, is it okay by you?
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, so we have much of this on the dashboard. So plants with fibrous roots are easy to be uprooted, likewise the taproot. Do you agree? So because the root doesn't go deep into the soil, it's basically easy for you to uproot or lift upwards fibrous roots as compared to that of the taproot. So let's move on. Now let's look at these questions. So discuss answers to the following questions. Everybody will talk before we'll wrap up our lesson for today. Then we'll do a bit of group discussion. Let me go to Frederick Russell Coma. I've not heard from you. Talk to me. Yes. Freddie, read the first question for me.
What should be the venation of a fibrous rooted plant?
Okay, so what should be the venation of a fibrous rooted plant? Yes, anybody would answer, can support or can give us. Yes. Yes. What should be the venation of fibrous rooted plants? Yes, anybody? We just said
Sir,
it.
what do you, sir, please, what do you mean by venation?
Oh, we remember that, Nadia, in our earlier submission, we made mention that you want me to tell you the answer, but let somebody answer it. Otherwise, I'll end up explaining with my own answer. So anybody have answer to that can help us. Yes, is that plant, sorry, is that what should be the venation of a
Of a fibrous rooted plant.
Of a fibrous rooted plant.
yes, so I've end up telling you the answer. I've end up telling you the answer. You see, so that they are, yes, what should be the definition of a fibrous rooted plant? Yes, anybody with the answer? Yes, Mawena, please talk to me.
Please, it should be a parallel venation.
Yes, a parallel venation. So that's what. So I've already said it earlier. So question 2, it said, write down 2 things. The things are talking about the characteristics or features of fibrous rooted plant. Yes, anybody? It can be the physical appearance of the plant or the other things. Yes. Please don't write the question. It's already on the dashboard. Don't write the question. Yes, Safo?
Fibrous roots are numerous and thread-like.
Good. That's one. Who else wants to give us another?
Sir,
Yes, who else?
sir,
Yes, dear.
sir,
Hello, I'm listening. Your name, please.
sir, please. They don't go deep into the soil.
Good. Who just answered that question? Oreku, yes. I want to know you said I can give you the marks, please. So kindly address me with your name. So come and give me the answer, please. Come and give me the answer.
Sir, please, I said they don't go deep into the soil.
They don't go deep in the soil. Good.
And
Edwin.
they come in clusters.
They come in.
Sir,
Edwin.
please, can I say some so that you give me marks?
Hold on. You have spoken, enough. So let me call Edwin. Edwin Ajay. Edwin is just behind me and is not talking. Edwin, talk to me. Edwin Ajay. Edwin. Edwin. Yes, Edwin, answer for me. The question, he said, please minimize the volume of your laptop. I said, write down 2 characteristics of fibrous root system. Yes, so the same as features.
So fibrous roots grow less in the soil.
They do what?
They grow less in the soil.
So it means that they don't, what the saying is that they don't go deep into the soil. Okay, good. Now let me go to, okay, question 3. Who will help me to read question 3? Yes, Oreku, still please help me.
In tabular form, state 3 differences between taproots and fibrous roots.
Yes, so when you hear a question like this, in a tabular form, so basically we are talking about a table form. Your answer should be in a table what form? Yes, so the other question I asked you, remember like the same question I asked you. And so in a tabular form, yes, whose hands is raised up? So please you can talk. Yes, Daniel.
Taproots have one main big root with smaller roots going from them. Fibrous roots don't have a main root.
Good, Daniel, pause there. Don't continue. Otherwise, somebody will not get something to say. So let me go down to who has not spoken. Yes, who has not spoken? All my friends are hiding their faces. Those who are hiding their faces, they will not get any marks. Yes, they talk to me.
Sir, please. Fibrous roots.
Please give me your name. Give me your name.
Grace.
Grace, yes.
Fibrous roots don't go deep into the ground, but tap roots go deep into the ground.
Okay, good. That's a good answer. Let's look at question number. Okay, Are we done with the question 3?
No, I want to mention some.
Okay, please mention.
Okay, so fibrous roots are Nadia. Fibrous roots are thread-like and almost the same size and length, but the taproot has one main root it has roots growing beside it, but they are not the same size.
Hey, Nadia, when you are giving answer, be specific. Okay, go straight to the point and give your answer.
Not good at explaining things.
No, please try and be good. You nearly confused me. Okay, so let's move on. Question 4. Let me come at question 4. Question 4. Grace, help me. Question 4.
Sir, should I read it?
Yes, please read.
List 4 examples of plants with fibrous root systems.
Yes.
Can I mention one?
If you are speaking, I'm not going to call you again. I'm going to call. Yes. So, no, I'm not going to call you. Nadia, hold on. Let me.
Can I mention?
Okay. So now I'm coming to unshare the screen, and I'll see those who are not talking. Some of you are hiding your faces from me. So now the question says that mention 4 examples of plants with fibrous root system. So now everybody should show his face for me to see. Oreku, please, your hands should be down because you have spoken today. You have done well today. Yeah, Kathy, haven't you spoken already? Kathy, talk to me. Let me hear.
No.
Okay, Kathy, talk to me.
Say cocoyam.
Cocoyam, good. Edwin, yeah, just
Maize.
maize. Speak like a man. Fred.
Onion.
Onion. Yes. Esmeralda.
Plantain.
Plantain. Nanama. Nanama.
Grass.
Sorry.
Grass.
You are here. Gloria.
Banana.
Banana. Ayi and Aseda.
Cocoyam.
Who is speaking?
I said hey, tomato.
Yes. Then Aseda should give me an answer. Sorry? Iham, talk to me. Osman. Maize. Okay. Azim, talk to me. Azim, talk to me.
Onions.
Onions, yes. Who has not spoken? Regina. Okay, Regina, you have a small challenge. Yes, Janelle. Daniel, please put your hand. Until I'm not going to call you because you have spoken already. Daniel, until your hands down. Elena, hands down. I want to call those who have not spoken. You're hiding behind the cameras and they will not talk. Janelle. Okay, good. So we have about 10 minutes to end our discussion. I want somebody to summarize today's lesson for me. Give me a gist of what we discussed today. Who will do that? Per the summary we just read, who will give me just a short summary of what we have learned so far? Yes, anybody? Yes, a summary of.
George, please, I want to try.
You said want to do what?
I want to try.
You want to try? Okay, so let me just ceasefire. Hold on, I'm coming. Let me call Stanley. Stanley told me earlier on that he joined not quite long. So Stanley, now you have been called. So Stanley, give me your summary of today's lesson. From Stanley, I'll go to Moid. Kathy, put your hands down. I'll call you. Awuye Kekeli is Ron is there. He's hiding his face. Yes, let me hear from you. I said earlier on that I'm giving marks. So if you think you will just be there, you will not talk. My brothers and sisters, advise yourself because.
They will learn the differences.
Fibrous roots do not.
Ron, I'm listening. Kekeli.
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm listening. Let me hear you.
You learned the differences of the taproot system and the fibrous root system.
Okay, good. That is what. So, what are you taking home? What are you keeping in your head now? Okay. Levin, McLean, talk to me. The one singing should stop. We'll come and sing in school next year. Yes, Levin, talk to me. Levin, talk to me. McLean. Levin. Yes, Amatoli, talk to me.
I learned that various roots branch sideways through the soil.
Okay, so that is what you are keeping today in your head. Good. Jaden. Okay, Jaden has spoken already. Yeah, Serena, sit up, sit up. Don't lie down. Sit up. You're in the classroom. Sit up. Serena. Serena, talk to me. What have you heard so far? Serena Hansen.
Is this
Serena is not ready to talk. Okay, so let me move on to, yes, Muid. Muid. Yeah, it's Muid. Share with me. Well, give me a summary of what you have learned today. Give me a summary of what you have learned today.
The differences between taproot.
Sorry?
I learned the differences between the taproot system and then the fibrous root system.
Hey.
Please, you're speaking very fast, though, so I can hardly hear you. You see your colleagues are even having issues with it. So please take your time and talk. Okay. What have you learned today? Yes. So okay. Okay, I think I need to move. I need to move on. Who? Okay, now let's all.
I'm reading the number there.
Let's all look at a summary of today's lesson. So I want Grace to read for us as a summary of today's. So that's what we are keeping in our mind, that what we have learned today about fibrous roots. So Grace will help us with a wonderful reading as we wrap up our lesson within the next 5 minutes. Yeah, so Grace, give us the summary reading on that.
Plants with fibrous roots have many small or tiny roots without a main root.
Okay, so it should be hold on. So it should be in your head today that plants with fibrous roots have many small or tiny roots without main root. So know that fibrous roots don't have what? A main root, but they have a tiny or a cluster of roots. Okay, so keep it. The main roots are actually found in a taproot. Good. Please go on. Continue, please. Grace, you can continue. Grace, are you missing?
Fibrous roots branch off sideways through the soil.
Yes, so we are taking it home today that fibrous roots, okay, branch sideways through the soil. They branch sideways through the soil. Yes, point 3. Point 3. Point 3, yes. So in a fibrous root system, the root grows closer to the surface of the ground. This allows the plant with fibrous roots to absorb water and minerals over a large surface area. So it means that, what it means that because the root doesn't go deep into the soil and it spreads across or spread around various locations, it has a base that can able to absorb much water as compared to the tap roots. So it means that the fibrous roots, they spread, and as they spread, they broaden, they occupy a bigger space or surface area, which enables them to absorb much water and nutrients. But in terms of strength, as for them to withstand wind, you cannot compare tap roots. So you can't compare fibrous roots to tap roots. Okay, and Also, we are saying that plants with fibrous roots are easily to uproot, like they what, unlike what that of what taproot system. So most or all fibrous root systems cannot be able, or they are not able to withstand, okay, or cannot what withstand pressure. With a little push or we hold it, can easily come out from the soil. So this is what we have actually decided to seek to understand today. All the notes can be found on your dashboard as we log in, and then they have assignments and exercise.
Yes.
So latest by midday, I'll give you the exercise. I'll give you the assignment, but you can do the exercises. Yeah. So within the next 2 minutes, I want to ask questions based on what you have learned today. Yes. Any question, please? Kathy, please, your hand is up. Talk to me. Kathy, yes. Kathy, yes.
Please, the examples of fibrous roots. I said tomatoes are examples of fibrous roots, but sometimes I see tomatoes as a taproot.
Will anybody have to explain the detail to her? Have you ever seen taproot? Most of the plants can actually be placed under both taproot and fibrous. Few of them can be grouped under taproot and the fibrous root. Yeah, so you may be correct, but what I know is that sincerely it is under. Yes, anybody with a question? Anybody with a question, please? Anybody with a question? Yes, anybody with a question?
I have a question.
Please ask a question. I'm listening. Ask a question.
Sir George.
Yes, dear, I'm listening.
Okay.